Well, welcome to Wrinkle City Live. I've done everything I could think of to try and make this stream come out okay. Closed out all the applications I'm not using. I got a haircut, and Gage and I both had our nature calls, so we should be good. Any rate, welcome to the stream. I'm Michael, and I'm retired, but not expired. I'm only old because I was born a while back. Not my fault. Um, I suppose I should start out by telling a little bit about myself. I'm a former Marine, and I served 2 tours in Vietnam. The Marine Corps taught me to fly, so uh, Vietnam was the place they wanted me. Any rate, uh, I, I excuse me, too many uhs, I know. Also, I'm a mortician. A lot of people don't know that about me, and yes, in fact, we did use the horse-drawn hearse at times. If the family asked for it, that's what they got. And being being a mortician is not the easiest life. You carry a lot of sadness with you, so I had to find hobbies to keep myself busy. And among my hobbies, I'm a private pilot. I fly drones, both fixed wing and drones such as you see in the picture there. I do a lot of photography and a lot of videography. Those are the four things that just keep me busy. Uh, the uh, the hard part was that I where am I? Oh, excuse me. Just before COVID hit, I lost my wife Hope, and that made life a little bit difficult for me, as I'm sure you can imagine. Uh, I was alone, pretty much having to stay in the house, and that was not a good way to go. Uh, the I didn't have anything to do, so I started watching YouTube, and I came across streaming sites, and I thought that's kind of interesting. So I started browsing around, and I came across Doc Rock and Ecamm. So I thought, well, this seems like a nice way to do things, to get to know people, to meet people. And so I got Ecamm, and I started practicing, playing with it, watching all of Doc's streams, and here I am today. Uh, I suppose the way I got here today is up to many people that I've watched on the internet. Uh, Four that were very helpful to me, starting, of course, with Doc Rock, who's very down to earth. He's friendly. His presentations are so relaxed and easy to watch. He's easy to follow when he demonstrates. And he often talks about his large head, but that's only because it's so full of knowledge that I'm not sure there's any question you can ask him about streaming gear, the internet, the Macintosh computer, that he can't answer right off the top of his head. The man is definitely, definitely knowledgeable. Next, oops, hit the wrong thing. I'm nervous when my hand is shaking. I can't, I can't hit the right button. Is Alec Johnson. Now, Alec is primarily responsible for the way my system looks today. He's so very willing to help everyone, and he has helped me personally in a lot of private videos that we have sent back and forth. Um, the look that I have today is so much responsible, his responsibility. Uh, and I appreciate him. He's extremely friendly, definitely a prolific streamer. The man streams every single day, either with recorded video or his live stream on Friday evenings. He's very creative. The things he has shown us and the things he has built for us show a lot of creativity. Obviously very knowledgeable in a lot of different programs. And he's extremely involved in the eCam community. He checks in and out of there constantly, asking questions, answering questions, even making recommendations for updates to this beautiful eCam program. And some of the ones that are in this present version are his responsibility. He brought them in. Next in line, how do you not watch Tom Buck? Extremely informative. He knows so much about everything that he talks about. He has a very easy listening delivery. He's very punny. The man would be the king of puns. I've never heard anyone that could come up with puns as fast as he does. Definitely the thumbnail king. He's got the best thumbnails on the entire internet, I'm convinced. He's knowledgeable and just very down to earth, has a good speaking way of coming across to people and helping them out. And last but certainly not least is Miss D, Diana Gladney. What a smooth, down to earth, friendly delivery that she has. She's very knowledgeable, very laid back in her presentations, no pretenses about being somebody important. She's been a massive help to me, and not real sure where I would have gotten without the four of these people. Now, that's not to say that I didn't learn from a lot of other people on the internet, but these four were the ones that brought me to where I am now. So I'm going to run you through the scenes I have set up just to show you what, with the help of Alec Johnson, I've been able to put together. And we'll start with when I have a guest. And I hope to have a guest later on, but not at the moment. And when you have a guest, you have a little bar that comes up at the bottom showing them how to, that is the guest number there. And it works with one guest, two guests, and when you have three guests, but it does not work well when you have four guests. It would cover me, and God, I don't want that. Maybe I ought to be up in number one. Any rate, also screen sharing, which became a lot easier in this version of eCam. Sharing the screen. Alec showed us how to do it, both with the screen share on the right and on the left, and also how to screen share when you had a guest, in case you wanted to explain something to a guest or they wanted to explain something to you. And Alec even recommended having a screen share when you have two guests. So that's where that stands. Also, something that Alec showed all of us in his streams was something he called a stinger. It's a stinger transition. Probably wouldn't be used an awful lot, but I went ahead and made one anyway. And what it does is it takes you from the current scene to a different scene and back. And this is what that would look like. So now I would be in the screen sharing with it on the right, and now I'm back where I belong. Okay, oh no, there's one more thing I need to show you. Occasionally I have to, I do videos and streaming to my family and my close friends, and I do a lot, as I said, I do a lot of videography. And when I take videos of something that my family enjoyed, I like to show them to them on here. But the video I'm going to show you, I did not take. It just happened here in Wrinkle City. And what it was a man was going on his golf cart down the street and saw an alligator going up in one of his friend's driveway, and called the friend and told him to look out front, and they did, and that's what they saw. That happens occasionally here in Florida. When I lost my train of thought. Any rate, Wrinkle City. I've been asked by a couple of people, both here in town and elsewhere, why I call it Wrinkle City. Well, that's because it's a retirement community. Only people 55 and older can live here, and I get my medical treatment at the VA. And one day I was at the Veterans Hospital and waiting for my appointment, and another guy was sitting nearby, and he asked me who I was and where I was from, and so I told him, and I said, I'm from Wrinkle City, and he says, where's that? And I said, well, actually it's Sun City, but I call it Wrinkle City because everybody there is wrinkled. And he got a little indignant, and he said, we don't appreciate that. He said, we prefer to call it God's waiting room. Now you tell me which one is more offensive to you. Any rate, now if anybody would like to join me, let's see, I'd be happy to entertain a guest because I'm running out of things to say on my first live stream here on YouTube. And if no one wants to come on, that's okay. Let's see if there's any question. Oh, Doc Rock is here. Doc, thanks so much for coming. It's a true honor. I have someone coming in, and I need to set him on a guest shot, and privacy. Get this set up right. And okay.
Hey, how are you doing, Michael?
Good. And you, look, I got my beta bunch.
I saw that, yeah. Great.
It's been a real challenge, but I think everything looks pretty good now. I don't have any real complaints.
You've done amazing, Michael.
And the last message you just sent me this afternoon relieved a lot because I thought I was doing something wrong.
Yeah, definitely not you.
Any rate, I want to try putting a comment up on the screen only because I've never tried it. And actually, this needs to be up also. I'm just going to put one. Oh, well, I hit it and it didn't go up.
I like how Gage has got their own buy me a coffee.
He does. I was going to say I don't necessarily want to monetize, but it's time he supported himself.
A dog needs treats.
Huh? Yeah, a dog needs treats. Okay, let's see. Doc says Command K. Well, that didn't do anything. Where am I going wrong?
Are you selected at Ecamm at the moment? Have you got that as the
Oh, you know what? That's probably it.
You can always just click on it in the actual chat window. It's coming up behind your lower third. That's what's happening. I can just see the top of it peeping out there.
So let me take the lower third down and move that up. I have to move it up over here. And then put the lower third. Whoops, it went away. There we go.
There we go.
Uh,
Thanks, Carlos.
yeah, and now I have to figure out how to. Oh, I don't want. Oh, the lower third's getting in the way of me moving this. Oh, and now it went off again. Well, we'll try this one. Overlay. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Now I can change this to my colors, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay, so I change that and change this to yellow. And now see if that worked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
There, and now I'll put that back up and I should be okay. Now, I'm assuming that if I put any more comments up, they'll take the place of that one and be in the same place?
That's right, yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's working. It's working. And in the overlay, I'm going to make sure to comment on top of right. Click a comment and say bring for. Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you, Doc. See, I tell you, the man knows everything.
He does. I've never once heard him say, I'm not sure about that. I'll get back to you.
No, no, I never have.
Yeah. It's not just the knowledge, it's the recall as well of it. That, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've forgotten an awful lot over the years.
Yeah, well, you see, the younger people today know everything. I mean, what can I say? They know absolutely everything about computers. But I'm not young enough to know everything. So I have a learning curve. But at any rate, it's good to have you here. I know I've been on your streams, but I appreciate you coming on this one.
Yeah, it's nice to chat.
Yeah. Let's see. I was going to see if there was any questions. Oh, Callie said she knew it was you. Or how did I know it was you? Yeah. And Doc is out walking, and when I said I had a guest, he said, Alec, I bet. Any rate, how do I see?
How are you liking the latest Ecamm version?
Oh, beautiful. I don't know if they can fix that one thing I was asking you about on the green screen, but I'm using their workaround. So
I'm sure it's on the list.
oh, I hope so, because I mean it does have it has a use. It's like I explained to one of my things. If I'm using a green screen and I've got something on the left and something on the right that I want to point to, I can't point to it if I'm standing up next to the green screen. If zooming in on me zooms in the green screen.
Yeah.
But at any rate, that's okay. And how is everything in Thailand? Oh, there's something else I was going to. Well, you've seen it, but the people in Doc's office hours may have seen it. But for a second, let me take this off. I have the temperature in both Fahrenheit and centigrade for the people that do not live in the United States.
I still find it difficult to do that conversion in my head. It's a non-linear thing, so it's always tricks me out somehow.
Well, I have
So
a little app.
that.
I have a little app up in the menu bar that converts for me. So when I set this up to live stream or to record, I just go to the app and say, "What is my temperature in centigrade?" And there they go. I'll put that back up. Oh, well, thank you, Doc. When I get compliments from people like Doc Rock, that's a compliment. I appreciate it. I truly do. Thank you so much. But you're the reason that I'm here, Doc. When I when I was going through the loss of hope, I didn't know what to do. And when I found Doc and I found ECAM and then got involved in Doc's office hours and found that the people were just so amazingly friendly and helpful and willing to talk to you, and it actually changed my life. So yeah, it's 87 degrees in Florida. His mannerisms and everything it made me feel relaxed, and while I still miss her, I have a family that I can turn to, the ECAM family, that gives me solace and helps me through things. Just sitting down and playing with ECAM keeps my mind busy. It keeps that Alzheimer's from checking in a little too soon. I don't know. It's just, Doc was amazing. If I hadn't found him, I don't know where I would be. But then I found you, and and that has been a true pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Michael. It's been a pleasure for me too. And somebody said it best in the office hours at the weekend, where there's lots of communities, but what Doc's created is a family, and it really does feel that way. Like, everyone there's just so much rooting for one another and helping each other out and sharing everything. It's just it's wonderful.
It is. And although I'm always a few minutes late because I'm coming from church, I enjoy it. I have a great time. And the knowledge that is put out, and a lot of the programs that people talk about in there that I know absolutely nothing about, are helpful. I mean, some of them are useful and I may end up using them. Others are beyond me. They're not things that I would use or need, at least not at this point. Who knows? Maybe someday. Any rate, they're a wonderful bunch. But I haven't come across anybody in the streaming environment that's using ECAM that hasn't been friendly. When you leave a comment in their chat section, they respond, and that's so true, Paul. And they don't ignore you. And I think Doc has said many times, one of the important things is when you get questions, be sure that you answer them. And if you're not going to answer them, then your stream is going nowhere. Of course, you have to have the answer in order to answer. But even telling them I'm sorry I don't know and I'll have to research that is better than ignoring their question altogether. So, at any rate, it's Thursday. There's no way I was going to do it on Friday, and obviously wasn't going to do it on Saturday. I mean, those are my two, my live stream with you and my office hours with Doc. At any rate.
We can't skip school, can we?
No. We've several of us have talked, I think, on your live stream about that little Doc Rock that sits on your shoulder. And, yeah. And well, he was sitting on my shoulder the day Apple dropped their new equipment, and so I ordered the new MacBook Pro M1 Max, and. But the funny thing is, and the way Doc explained it, was that about every 2 years you check out the old one and check in the new, and it's been 2 years. I presently have a MacBook Pro 16-inch, and so I'm replacing it with a MacBook Pro 16-inch, but the M1 Max chip. And when I'm not sitting here at this computer, which is a M1 Mini. When I'm not sitting here at this computer and I take my laptop with me if I go, to Disney, which I have been known to do, and or over to families to spend the night, because my sister has a very large fenced-in backyard, and Gage just loves to run around in it. He just runs up and down and up and down. And he likes staying outside. So I said, fine, it's 93 degrees out here, Gage. You stay out, and I'll go on in and call me when you're ready. What is Doc saying? Oh,
What's the delivery time on your MacBook?
actually,
You have to-
it's due here to me on November 2nd. I ordered it while
Oh, wow.
I ordered it while the thing was still running.
Yeah.
I the announcement, and
Yeah.
it it was a little bite, but that's okay.
Uh-huh.
I can do it. But then Doc announced today that Sony came out with a new camera. So I'm sorry, unless Gage buys it for me, I'm going to stick with the cameras I've got for now.
What's the camera that they've come out with?
They came out with a Sony A7,
Right.
and I don't know. There's more to it than that, but it's A7 Mark IV or so. At any rate, it's
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a full frame, 30. I think it's 32 megapixel pictures, and then full frame, video and
Yeah.
4K and it's the A7 IV,
A74.
according to Mr. Knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
How are you liking the ZV-E10?
I like it a lot. You can't see it, but I've got my laptop set up over on the side over here on a standing table. It actually goes up and down, and that'll be actually one of the videos I do is the equipment I use and that standing table. And the reason it's there is that my green screen is over there, and to pull it out and behind me here is a little difficult. But if I just pull it straight out from where it is, the camera over there picks it up, and that's where I'm going to try out the EV10 as far as making videos and streaming.
Oh, cool. So you've really got a dual camera, dual computer studio setup.
I do. Well,
That's
actually,
cool.
as you can probably see on the back shelf, I have
quite a collection.
I have cameras over there. I have the EV10. I have the 7R4 Sony, and I have that tall one in the back there is the Elgato webcam.
Yeah.
And then I also have a Mevo webcam, which I'm playing with on the laptop for the moment. And what I'm presently using is called an OBSBot. It's a PTZ type camera. I can set it so that it follows me all around when I move. And so that's the one I've been using up until now because I have it on one of those bars that connects to your desk. And
Got you. Yeah.
and then I can raise it up. And actually, because I can raise it up, I can also, because Doc told me to, I bought one of those camera clips that goes on the bar, and I can put the EV10 at eye level and run the OBSBot up all the way to the top and make it a top-down camera. So I'm all set. I just need to keep going, keep the momentum going. I don't know why I have procrastinated so long. It just, but
Join the club.
But it was something that they said in Doc's office hours on Saturday about not procrastinating. Get over yourself. Don't worry about making mistakes, and just get in there and do it. And I said, fine. I've already made mistakes in this, my ums and ahs and trying to find the right button. And because I'm a little nervous, my hands have been shaking and trying to run the mouse. I use the mouse Doc recommends, of course. And yep, exactly. And so I've made mistakes, but so what? You just keep going on and going on. And if people are upset about the mistakes, they don't have to watch.
Yeah, people are upset about ums and ahs are probably not worth bothering about, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Well, and Doc agrees with that, by the way. Yes, I'm sure. Well, you can see the comments, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah. I've got them
Oh,
in
okay. Any rate, so yeah, Gage is sound asleep at my feet. He doesn't really go very far. Occasionally, he gets up and wanders out to the living room or the couch and gets up and makes himself at home. But usually, he's back in here within a couple of minutes, and that's tiny senior moment. Yeah, I have a lot of those senior moments. It there's times when I forget the names of things, and
Oh, well, I do that all the time as well.
yeah, yeah. But any rate,
Do you know when I've started doing that when want to open an app? So normally to open apps on the Mac, I would just press Command Space to open up the search, and then just type the first letter or whatever of the app, and it'll come up. But just recently, I've been finding I'm thinking like, what is that app called? And it's like something that I use every day. So
exactly, I had the same problem when I was setting up for this. I wanted to put up my little notepad so that I remember things that I wanted to say. And I said, "What the hell do they call? What does Apple call that thing?" You know,
yeah,
it's not. It's
I had
not.
it
It's not the notebook. It's the other thing. Oh, text edit.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I had it just yesterday with Spotify. It's like, what's that app called? That
Yeah.
music app. What's it called?
Yeah.
It's called, and I use it all the time. So
And let's see. Hello, Kevin.
what are the
I'm sorry.
what are the mics that you've got behind you?
I have the Elgato Wave back
Oh,
there.
that's the Wave, right. Yeah.
And this one is the Rode NT Mini.
Yeah.
And then I have the Rode Wireless Go that I can,
the clip one. Yeah.
connect one to the camera and the other one to you and walk around. And
Yeah.
I'm using the earphones that you and Doc recommend. It's starting to hurt over here, Doc. Oh God!
Buy more gear.
Yeah, exactly. I just what's he gonna say? Losing memory of easy. Yeah, tell me about it. At least I remember my name and Gage's name. Oh, he heard his name. Yeah. Sometimes it's funny when we're on office hours and some of the gals bring in their dogs. Of course, he's on the floor next to me, but if I wasn't wearing earphones, when they started that barking, he'd be all over it.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful that I wear earphones. When I watch television, I have a set of wireless earphones because when my wife was alive, what was I going to say? Oh, when my wife was alive, her hearing was a lot better than mine. And I would play the TV too loud for her. So I got a set of those wireless earphones, and I was able to, put my sound level at my sound level, and she puts the TV at her sound level, and everybody was fine. And now that she's gone, I keep using the earphones because every time a dog barks on something I'm watching, he goes crazy. And he actually, there was one time that I was told dogs cannot see TV. Well, that's not true, because I was watching a movie about dogs, and he stood there and watched the whole thing. And then, strangely enough, he tried to walk behind the TV to see where the dogs were.
Right.
So, he's not the most intelligent person, but he's my best friend here. He's made a lot of difference. I didn't get him until after I lost hope. And actually, I was taking some grief counseling, and the doctor recommended that I get a pet, something that I could take care of and that needed me as much as I needed them. And he's been a joy to me. He's done exactly what he was supposed to do. And I adopted him, so he came already trained, housebroken and everything. And it's fantastic, except once we're in bed at night and he decides he still has to go out, and he takes a big paw of his and plants it right in my chest, and it does. Let's get up and go out. I said, okay. And he's my alarm clock in the morning, because you can pretty much guess sometime around 7 o'clock our time, he's going to want to go outside, and so he wakes me up, and that gets me up. And but no, he's been fantastic, and
That's lovely.
that's why I gave him the opportunity to buy his own treats, so that he wouldn't feel like he was always taking from me.
Yeah.
He,
Paul's
he,
just said in the chat that he's going to be wanting a gauge cam soon.
Gage is coming to it. Oh yeah, I do have a gauge cam set up, but I don't have the camera on him right now. Oops, I just made a mistake of telling the Ozbot to follow me. Watch this. So now I got to get it back where it belongs. And hold on 1 second while I. Well.
By the way, Doc's recommending more gear in the chat as well.
Oh yeah. You got to have more gear. Hold it. I'm trying to tell the camera to leave me alone. And you do it by hand signals. So when I put my hand up earlier, it thought I was telling it to follow me.
I got you.
Now I have to adjust the picture. Well, that screwed up the rest of the stream.
Never mind. Nobody minds.
Yeah. Paul says that his cat lets him.
Yes.
I got to be over here.
Cats are always the boss, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, and that's it. Gage pretty much lets me live in here, which was nice of him, I thought. Any rate, so that's
good point, Kevin. Paul said my cat lets me live in my apartment, but Paul points out they let them live in Maestro's apartment, the cat.
Yeah, and Paul pays rent for him, and Paul, thank you. I really appreciate you coming, Paul, and Doc. As I said earlier, it's a true honor to have you join the stream here, and because you're responsible for this. What can I say? Any rate,
Paul was on Anna and Fulgen's show the other day, and they had the title "Moderator to the Stars."
Yes, yeah, I saw that one. I watch a lot of Anna and Fulgen's too, but with the template that you gave everyone, and the way Ecamm does things now, I find it very easy to set up my scenes, and I do occasionally, play around with something that Anna and Fulgen have shown us. Like they have this look, and
they're amazing.
Yeah, so I played around with that one, but. No, they're truly amazing, and they can do just about anything with that text editor. I swear. But I don't know if you got to see it when they were in New York. They did.
Oh yeah,
they did a great job.
They did. Yeah.
They moderated the shows, and it was fantastic. I really wanted to go to that, but. I couldn't make it because of the doctor's appointments, and then I thought, well, I'll fly up for the day so that I can at least go to B&H, which I do an awful lot of business with, and then I could meet Doc and some of the others, but that didn't work out either. So, any rate,
maybe next time.
Well, no,
I'm looking forward to trying to make it at some point.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I might have to just fly to Hawaii to meet Doc.
How long would it take you to get there in your plane?
Oh, in my plane, it would take. I could never make it across the ocean in that plane.
Okay.
It doesn't have enough fuel. I can make it to California, but once I get to California, I'll have to take a commercial. Because I tell you what, I just want to meet him in life. What can I say? he has meant so much to me and been so important to me that meeting him would be a dream come true. So who knows? I may fly to Hawaii just to say hi to him and get my picture taken too to prove I was there.
Yeah.
In fact, I've never been to Hawaii. When I was in the Marines, we took R&R, and one of the places you could go was Hawaii, but they kind of held that for married Marines, so that they could meet their wives there and stuff. And that there weren't that many billets available to go to Hawaii, so I went to Kuala Lumpur and Hong Kong. That was it. But now Hope had been to Hawaii several times. She and her family used to take cruises to Hawaii, and one of my close friends here in town goes to Hawaii periodically on a cruise. I'm not interested in a cruise. I want to get on the plane and a couple hours later get off the plane and say hi to Doc.
Yeah.
Because I really don't have anything else to do in Hawaii except, well, I might go to the memorial and things like that. But
Well, Doc's saying he knows a bunch of cool spots, so there you go.
oh, all right. You know what? I may just do that. Don't count me out. To go and to get out of town. With COVID, Hope and I used to do a lot of things. We had yearly passes to Disney, and we went over there quite a bit. And we would take little day trips and things like that. But now that she's gone and with COVID on, it's been so difficult. I don't really have anywhere to go. I can go to those places, but it's not the same without her. And how much fun I'd have by myself, I don't know. Of course, I could always make fun. I'll figure out something. But going to Hawaii, now there's a good idea. And I just told the camera to follow me again. I gotta stop pointing. There's got to be a way.
There's a few others from the group in Hawaii as well. So.
Oh yeah. I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Jim
and how far is Hawaii from Bangkok?
Do you know, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I suppose you'd go from here like via Japan or something like that. That would be the quickest way to it. So no, I'm not sure how far the flights are, but I'll definitely try and get there sometime soon.
Thank you for coming, Carlos. I appreciate it truly. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I could Google it. Then I could. Oh, I'm going to tell the camera to move it again. I could go to Hawaii, go to Bangkok, and then back to California, and then fly home.
It's 13 hours 25 minutes flight time from Bangkok to Honolulu.
13 hours?
Yeah.
And you have to wear a mask the whole time?
Yes, Doc say 9 hours flight from Japan. So yeah.
I spent a lot of time in Japan, Doc. In the Marines, I spent a lot of time in Japan. And now Japan is another place that I would enjoy visiting again. I have no desire, although I have friends who do. I have no desire to go back and visit Vietnam. But Japan, yeah, I would go back to Japan in an instant. But those are all dreams. The important one is Hawaii to meet Doc, and buy him a beer. No, buy him a whiskey.
A whiskey.
Yeah. Well, no. First, I need to go to Japan and get that special whiskey that he says you can only.
Yeah, you got to go to Japan first.
and yeah, because actually, being retired from the Marines, I can take military hops for nothing. So I need to look into those too. Because it doesn't cost anything. Of course, you're not flying in first class anything. You're flying in a jump seat, but that's okay.
I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Retired military can use military transports on a space available basis. As long as they've got room for a passenger, they'll take you for nothing. And so going to Japan, and then I got to find that little town where he gets that special whiskey. And then I need to fly a military hop from Japan to Hawaii and bring him a bottle of that whiskey. Now, there's an idea. Doc says he'll take me to Japan. You know what? I might take you up on that. But I am going to look into coming to Hawaii, because there was some place Doc was going to come after he left New York and went back. Kaneohe Bay. Oh yeah, I know it. He was going to come somewhere here on the mainland, I think, to do a show or something, and I couldn't remember where he was going to, but that's all right. Hawaii's good. Hawaii's fine. And like I said, I was going to fly commercial, but why fly commercial if I can fly for free?
Very good point.
Yeah, very good point.
How often do you get up in your plane? How often do you go flying?
Oh, usually once a week, just to to keep current, and my family doesn't trust me. The Marine Corps trusted me to fly, but my family doesn't. So I've never been able to take my family up, but I have taken some of my friends up. And of course, everybody says, "Can you fly over my house?" I want to see my house. I said, okay. So, excuse me. But my family will not fly with me.
That's funny.
Well, that's because they knew me when I was a child.
Right.
See, there were 5 children, and I'm an only child. And if you don't believe me, you ask my brothers and sisters, because I was a bit of a hellraiser, and I did a lot of stupid things. Still do a lot of stupid things, and I think I've said before that. Probably my last words on this earth is, well, that didn't work out too well, did it? But any rate, they won't fly with me, so I fly alone, or I take friends up. Now, my nieces and nephews are willing to fly with me, but unfortunately, my sisters and brothers said they can't. Why? I'm a great pilot. I can pick it up here and pilot over there.
I was always in accident and emergency when I was younger.
Yeah.
I've had so many stitches and broken bones and things like that just through through my own fault.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I know. I mean, I've had some interesting experiences when I was flying. When I first learning to fly, we had to eventually do a solo cross country, and one of the airports that I was going to land at, you do a touch and go, or you land and get someone there to sign your logbook saying that you did get there, and then you take off again and go to the next airport. And we had to go to 3 different airports and back home, and New Bern, North Carolina. Which is, when you go to North Carolina, they tell you, "Welcome to North Carolina." Now set your watch back 20 years. But I was going to land there, and of course I announced to the tower that I was a student pilot doing my first solo, and that I was going to come, for my cross country checkoff. And about that time, there was a airlines there called Piedmont Airlines. And they were requesting landing. And they said, so the tower said to him, "Piedmont, you'll have to circle. We have a plane on the way in." And they said, "Do you realize that circling this airport cost my company $500? And they said, "Do you realize this is a student pilot on his first solo cross country?" And Piedmont said, "Roger that, making a $500 turn." So we had, I've had some other interesting, but it's been a good life. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking to the people on the internet and talking with you on our private videos. It kind of makes my day. I get up in the morning. One of the first things I do after I take Gage out is check and see if I have any email or videos, or check YouTube and see if you or Doc or Miss D or Tom have posted anything new, and that starts out my day. And,
Well, I always love waking up to your videos as well.
yeah, yeah. Excuse me. I always have to look at the clock and say, okay, it's 11 hours ahead of me. So it's 4 o'clock, or it's 9 o'clock in the morning here. It's 8 a.m. at night, or 8 p.m. at night. He's going to bed, and and then later in the afternoon I say, oh, he just got up. So if I leave him a video, he might see it. And any rate, it's been a nice journey, getting to the point of being live. All of the people who have been so helpful, the information I've garnered, even if I didn't ask the question, to hear Doc or Miss D or you or somebody in office hours give answers. And listen, I never get online that I don't have a notebook and pen sitting right next to me. And yes, Doc, my tape measure's right over there. Yeah. And my tape measure, because, Doc said you got to have a tape measure. I mean, I'm not real sure what I'm measuring, but it's there. Any rate, how are we doing on time? Almost an hour. I can't believe it.
Have you always been a Sony guy, by the way? Because I know you've got the ZV-10,
Yes.
but
I've always. Well, I take it back. One time I had a Canon and was not real happy with it. And after I retired and came to Florida, I worked for Apple like Doc did for several years, and then health issues made me stop. And when I got better, there was a Sony store at the time in the same mall that the Apple store was in, and they didn't need any more help, so I didn't go back to Apple, but I went to work for Sony. And actually, I was there. I ran the camera counter, so I got real interested in their cameras, their video cameras, and whatnot. And yes, I've always owned Sony. I find that for me, they're the best camera on the market. Now, that's not to say that Canon isn't good or Nikon isn't good. It's to say, for me, the Sony has always been the best camera. And I enjoy it. And it's easy to use. It's easy to edit the video. It's easy to Photoshop the pictures. So Apple and Sony have been my mainstay. I've been with Apple since the very first Macintosh came out. That little box. And actually, a good friend and I wrote some software that no longer exists, doesn't work anymore on the Mac.
Oh, cool.
But
what was that for? What software was it?
Actually, it was, believe it or not, it was a way to analyze the California lottery and determine.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, because even though lottery numbers are random, there really is no such thing in my mind as a random number generator. I mean, whatnot. And I realized that they have the little ping pong balls come out of the thing. But after we started writing it and keeping track of all the games that were played, we realized that there were certain numbers that tended to come up with other numbers. And so we called them hot numbers, cold numbers, and whatnot. Anyway, we wrote an entire program on how to keep track of the numbers. It built its own database. Then it analyzed them. And so that was it.
Fascinating.
And actually, it's in the where have we got it registered? Well, we have it copyrighted. So I forget. At any rate, it's somewhere in Washington D.C. And the printout of the program itself was like an inch and a half thick.
Yeah.
But we had fun doing that. So, but
That's
anyway, like I
amazing.
said, Mac and Sony, Cessna when it comes to aircraft, and DJI when it comes to drones.
Hmm.
And actually, I got into flying fixed wing remote control also, and I forget the name of the company that does that, but I belong to a flying club, and we have our own field for flying, for remote control flying, and
Yeah.
they recommended this one because they were tired of me getting up above them with the drones and taking videos and posting them and watching them crash. And
Right.
so, and I said, we don't we don't crash when we fly real planes. In fact, I remember
Uh-huh.
my very first flight with my instructor. He said, "I want you to understand something. There are two ways to return. You can land or you can arrive. While I'm in the plane, you will not arrive." So, so I told him, I said, your remote control planes are arriving, they're not landing.
Yeah, I suppose there's a little bit more at stake with real planes.
Yeah.
I used to fly model aircraft as well when I was a lot younger. That
Yeah.
was one of my passions when I was a teenager, I suppose.
Do you fly the fixed wing?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
flew with aero modeling. Yeah, in fact, the degree that I did was in aeronautical engineering. So flying's always been a passion, but I never
That
sort of pursued
explains
it
why you
afterwards.
know so much about ECAM, aeronautical engineering. Yeah.
And I studied. I was in the ATC, the Air Training Corps in the UK. So as a teenager, I did like flying as part of that, but just never continued it for some reason. Just always other things to focus on. But it's one of those things that's always there that I want to actually get my private pilot's license. So
Oh
it's still
yeah.
on my list of things to do.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's as long as I can keep passing the physical, and
Uh-huh.
that the pilot's license in the United States is good for life. It's
Hmm.
the physical that you have to take every 2 years to make sure that you're able to fly. As far as the
Right.
license, it never expires. Unlike our driver's licenses, which expire.
Right.
But and actually, the older I get, and the more people I see out at the airport, I'm wondering if they really shouldn't have a test periodically, because some of those old codgers that are barely able to get into the plane and they take off and do a loop on the way out. I said, oh, somebody needs to give him a check ride. But
Uh-huh.
any rate, oh, Miles is here.
What?
Hello. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, Miles.
Yeah, let me bring him up. It's good to see you here, Miles. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it.
A fellow Marine.
Yeah.
Fellow for you, not for me.
Well, yeah. Actually, I think he's in the Army.
Oh, I
But
see. Sorry.
but have I got this? Oh no, it's not on the screen. I have the Marine Corps emblem that I
Uh-huh.
fixed up for office hours, because every once in a while they mention vets, and so I pop that up in the corner. But
Paul's just saying, did someone say Harrison Ford?
yeah, for what?
he
Oh
he
yeah,
had so Harrison Ford's a pilot, and he had a little incident. Was it last year? I think I can't remember.
yeah.
He arrived rather than landed.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't want to. I wasn't cursing Miles. I think he was in the Army. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I think Doc's implying that I was cursing him by saying that he was a Marine.
Okay. Because Doc was in the Army,
Yeah,
and
there's quite a few military people in the in Doc's group, aren't there?
I think so.
Steve
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
Steve is ex-Marine as well, I think. Not ex-Marine. It's a Marine for life.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Well, yeah. They say there's no such thing as a former Marine,
That's right. Yeah.
and
To
even though
correct
I'm
myself there.
even though I'm retired and not expired, I'm still a Marine. So
Uh-huh.
And I enjoyed my time in the service, but I've enjoyed my life after I got out of the service too. I know it sounds strange to say I enjoyed being a mortician, but I did. I enjoyed my job. I enjoyed the scientific end of it. I enjoyed being there for people when they needed someone. And I had made up my mind from my first day of college that I was always going to put the families first and the hell with the profit. Well, not the hell with the profit, but profit comes second. And I owned my own mortuary, so my wife and I made sure that we charged a fee that would keep us going and keep the mortuary going, but was not overbearing on the families. And we never pushed anything on them. You got to buy this casket, you got to buy that casket. You don't really want to cremate, you got to do this. Conglomerates do that. There's several big conglomerates that own most of the mortuaries now, and their bottom line always tends to be what's the bottom line on the contract, whereas my bottom line was always, did I serve the family the best I could? And
that's
so
the
anyway,
way it should be.
It should.
Terrible that people would basically try and adversely capitalize on people's loss.
I know,
yeah.
and that's big business for you. I mean, what are you going to do? I know I've heard a lot of complaints about Apple's pricing on their equipment. Hey, they know what their equipment is worth. They put it out there. They know what they need to keep the company going. And they're a major company. So
yeah, plenty of people see the value in it. That's how they became the biggest company in the world.
Right, and they do have different tiers of computers to buy.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I was sorry is that they didn't come out with an M1 like 27-inch iMac.
Yeah.
Because I have the iMac Pro from several years ago, and I just can't bring myself to come down to a 21-inch, even though the power is going to be there. But like my iMac Pro has 64 gigabytes of RAM, and of course that helps with things like Final Cut Pro and After Effects, and it's just. But at any rate, maybe they'll come out with it later.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time. I'm interested to see if they actually make how they create a Mac Pro replacement.
Yeah.
So an actual Pro. It'd be interesting to see what they do.
Of course,
with the M series.
That to me was a little bit more than I wanted to put out, because when I tricked it out the way that I would want it, I was looking at $25,000.
Yeah.
I asked Hope. I said, "Do you have any money in your wallet?" And I need $25,000, and she said, "You need to stop looking at the internet."
Yeah. What are you buying? Are you buying a car or a plane? No, it's just a new computer.
Just a new computer for my office.
I always go with the pros. I always go and just look in the store and then just max out everything and just see, just out of interest, how much could this cost?
The only thing I didn't max out was, and actually I think it was a recommendation of Doc's, is I didn't max out the hard drive, and I just went 1 terabyte because I have external hard drives that are plenty fast enough. They're Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, they're Thunderbolt 3, but they're plenty fast enough that I don't need to put everything on the laptop itself. And I have portable drives to do the same thing. So when I take my laptop with me somewhere else, I'm doing well. Any rate, anything exciting going on in Thailand?
Well, they're actually talking about reopening the country to allow people to come in without having to do quarantine. So potentially it might be that this Christmas my parents can come over and spend the first Christmas with their grandchildren and me obviously, but I think they're more interested to the grandchildren are the higher priority. But they haven't seen the grandkids for 2 years. So we're really hoping that all comes round and they can be here. So they've actually booked the flights because it looks like it will go through. So they'd be here for 2 months over Christmas and also for my daughter's 10th birthday as well.
Well, wonderful.
So,
wonderful.
That's what I'm most excited about at the moment.
Yeah, well, a 13-hour flight is not exactly something that I had. And trust me, if I were to take a military hop, you know,
Yeah.
it would be longer because normally the ones that have the most room on them are the prop jobs, you know, the
Yes.
C-130s
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, we'd probably have to do a circuitous route somehow to
Yeah.
get there and back. But at any rate, so
I'll
I'm
tell you what.
sorry.
I'll meet you in Hawaii at some point.
Hey, hey, we can both meet Doc.
There's a plan.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on his show, but you've not been able to actually touch his hand and shake it.
Yeah. Definitely want to do
and
that sometime.
and you know, and I remember you telling me a long time ago that you know he was one of the ones that you used to watch a great
Oh,
deal,
for sure.
and
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and that he helped a lot in you getting set up. But of course, you've done an awful lot on your own too. You've shown us stuff that I haven't seen anybody else show.
Yeah,
And
well, what you'll find is if you look through my video list, there's quite a few of those that Doc made the same video a little bit earlier,
oh,
and I
really?
learned it from him. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
that. Yeah, but
He,
like,
he always says, don't be afraid to remake somebody else's video. So I took him up on that and remade a bunch of his.
yeah. Now, one thing is, you know, as you know, I've watched every video that you've put out, except I haven't watched all your shorts, but I've watched almost every video you've put out. And you really got to take that one on the Pro Mouse down.
Do you know what? I'm seriously thinking of doing that because I'm getting more people now that are saying, like, "Oh, it didn't work for me." Then, I'm seriously considering
But what
that.
I don't understand is you and I are using the same program, the same
I know.
computer. We're not using the same monitors, but I don't think that makes a difference.
The difference is the keyboard. You've got a Logitech MX keyboard, right?
So if I
And
use that Apple keyboard that plugs in,
it'd be interesting because you've had an issue with it and you've got that keyboard. There's Chris in the UK who's had an issue with it and he's got that keyboard. Paul in the chat has got that keyboard and I think he's had an issue with it.
and I
So,
believe Doc has the same keyboard.
well, Doc hasn't actually. He's got that. I forget what it's called now. Keychron, is it? I can't remember. He's got another little. I can't remember the name of it. But he's got a different keyboard. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the issue is, and I'm determined. I thought I'd figured out what the issue was, so I made a second video, which was, this might fix Pro Mouse for anybody who's got a problem, and I didn't have the problem, so it was just a hope really that it would fix it. And then I made a third video about it. So at this stage, it's kind of like.
Well, you know what?
Sure.
I have an Apple keyboard because if you remember a while back, I told you that when you get your M1, that you have to use a wired keyboard and a wired mouse in order to put in loop. What is it? Audio hijack.
Yeah,
And
audio hijack. Yeah, yeah.
And why they did that, I don't know. I mean, you give us a program, you give us a computer, Apple, and now we have to go out and buy a different keyboard so that we can install it. But anyway,
In safe mode, yeah, yep.
I did. So I have that standard Apple wired keyboard. I'm going to put that on and turn the Logitech off and see if that works. It might be worth a try. At least it would help us narrow down what the problem is.
Troubleshoot it. Yep. Yeah.
The funny thing is, it worked sometimes for me way back when I first got it, and then it stopped altogether. And I don't think it has anything to do with Ecamm. It can't.
Right.
I mean, the cursor is completely different from Ecamm, I would think. I don't know. Anyway,
I know there is a thing with Ecamm where if you're sharing just an application, then Pro Mouse won't show up because Ecamm is excluding all other applications, and so because Pro Mouse itself is an app, then if you do screen sharing of a particular app, then it'll only see the cursor, not Pro Mouse. But that isn't the issue that people have been having with it, I don't think so.
No, the issue I'm having is it working fine on my end, and it isn't going out. It isn't.
So are you sharing the whole screen, or are you sharing a specific app?
A specific app.
So if you are sharing a specific app, then you won't be able to see ProMouse on what's going out, because ProMouse is an app, and so Ecamm is basically sharing only the app that you select. So you won't see ProMouse at all.
All
So
right, but
that's why I use the screen sharing. But then if you share the whole screen and then crop in, which you can do now, to
yeah.
a specific app, then you will see it.
All right. Now, if you were sharing Ecamm, like in the demo
In
mode,
demo mode, yeah, in demo mode it should show up because that's sharing the whole screen then. So if it's not appearing in demo mode, then yeah, that's
I need
something
to give that a
else.
try. And just for a second,
Yeah, no
I'm
problem.
going in the demo mode. All right. Are you seeing?
So I can see that ProMouse. Yeah,
Okay, so it's working.
yeah, that's working. Yeah.
Oh, so maybe that's my problem.
Try going into the scene that you've set up with your, where you had one set up with your Stream Deck on, and that
Oh,
one you were sharing just the app, and then in
okay.
that one I shouldn't be able to see it.
Okay, you don't
So
see it.
now I don't see it because you're just sharing just a specific app, and so ProMouse is in app, and so Ecamm's ignoring it. But now if you did, you see the
Now
clicker
that's my
is showing up.
regular.
That's your regular clicker, yeah. So now go to if you have a, I suppose if you haven't got it set up, it doesn't matter. But if you were to be sharing, in fact, in that one that you've got sharing a Stream Deck, if you just change the source of that to, instead of the particular application, just say like full like desktop one or something like that.
Oh, okay, hold on. Source. Oh no, where am I going to? Oh, in this.
In that's right, yeah, in that one.
Well, where did it go? Oh, wait a minute, maybe I've got it locked. Yeah, I do. Okay, so here. Why isn't it?
Have you perhaps got the
Oh,
overlay?
it's that's in the way. There we go.
You can just change the settings in the actual overlay list as well. You have the little cogwheel next to that sometimes if you can't actually get to it on the screen.
Okay.
Now, if you just come out of demo mode, because I can't quite see, but I think that I can see the ProMouse. If you
all right, you see it now?
just hover over somewhere near the Stream Deck app so that I can have a little look. Yeah. Oh, hang on. No, I can't see it there either.
You can't see it.
I can't. Oh, yeah, it's working now. Yeah, I can see the zoom there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
see that.
So all right. So that's what I have. All right. So I take back some of the things I've been thinking about you.
So that's the issue with sharing a like sharing a specific app. So yeah, I can see your ProMouse now. It's like a dark red color, but
Yeah.
there was another issue though. So that isn't the issue that Docs had. And Docs just asked, do I think that the key cron is killing ProMouse? I don't necessarily think that, but I know that with the Logitech keyboard, the Logitech MX keys, there's some issue about not being able to use the function key. And one thing that's a bit weird about ProMouse is the keyboard shortcuts that you assign to it. You can't assign like regular keyboard shortcuts like, I don't know, Command N, M or something for mouse or something like that. Mm-hmm. You can only basically use a combination of either the function, the Shift, Control, Alt or Command key. So it's a bit of a weird way that they've set up their, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but there's some weird way that they've set up their keyboard shortcuts. So I know that the Logitech keyboard though has an issue where you can't use the function key to assign to anything. So I know that that's caused a few problems for some people, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's a keyboard thing.
Yeah, well, at least I know now that I can use it. It's just that I can only use it at certain times.
Yeah, well, so I never actually share a specific app. Since the beta's come out, you can always just share the screen and then crop into that specific app. And one of the videos that I'm going to do this week, actually, or maybe next week now, is how I use Moom and Keyboard Maestro and things like that to actually set up. So I basically press one button, and with the profiles that we've got in Ecamm now, you can actually assign keyboard shortcuts to them using Custom Shortcuts, that app. So you can assign a keyboard shortcut to your profiles, and you can also do it in Keyboard Maestro, where you activate a menu command. And because the names of the profiles that you give are all actually menu items in the profiles menu in Ecamm, you can actually shortcut those. So I basically got a button on Stream Deck that I press, and it opens the correct profile in Ecamm. It shuts down all of the apps that I don't need and repositions all the windows and things like that. And one of the things that I do with window positioning is the things that I'm likely to be sharing, like Safari or whatever it happens to be, they just automatically get put in the right place on the screen by Moom, so that the scenes that I've got set up where they're sharing a cropped screen are all perfectly lined up. So you don't have to think like, oh, I'm sharing the whole screen, but I need to crop in on this app. It's just already all sort of pre-set up with Moom. So that might be a solution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to Keyboard Maestro and Moon. More information on those, because they're
Yeah.
programs that I think that I could easily use in more than just Ecamm.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I need to know more about how to set them up and what to do with them. And anyway, I'll look forward to that video. And still looking forward to number 5 of 5 of the keynote.
Yeah, so I did the first 4, and then I got sidetracked with the other one. But then with the new version, I'm tempted to just go and because they're all talking about it as a beta feature. So I was tempted to sort of do something slightly different, just where it's specifically for the latest version, so that people don't think, oh, they haven't got that feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely near the top of the list. That one is.
Well, and as you can see, I've paid attention to your
Yeah,
keynote.
you've done great, Michael.
That stinger was. I'm sorry.
Doc mentioned in the chat earlier about, there's lots of people who watch videos and learn these things but never put it into action. So to see you actually watching and listening and things like that, and coming to the office hours and then implementing everything that you've learned, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, like I said, and I take notes everywhere. I take notes when I'm watching your videos, even though I download them too. So, and if there's something specific I want to on the note, I'm going to say, okay, he said this at 13 minutes and 4 seconds, so that when I bring it back up, I can go find it right away.
I do the same with stuff that I watch. I'm exactly the same.
And of course, like I said, I don't think I could ever watch a doc video without having a notepad handy. Sometimes the slightest little remark he makes triggers a question in my head. I said, well, now I'm going to write that down. I can ask him on office hours or whatnot. But
I do that as well. There'll be little things that he'll just mention as an offhanded comment, and then I'll just be like, "Oh, what was that?" And then I'll go and research it. I didn't know that.
Well, I like being able to talk to him, like in office hours. So if I've got a question that I think really needs explanation, more so than in his streams, where he, will read the question and give an answer. But then if I have a further question, I would have to type another question. So having office hours where I can just raise my hand without making the mouse the camera go crazy. It's really nice. Office hours is well worth the time I put it. I mean, I don't know what Doc feels about the time he has to put into it, but he means so much to everybody else that I hope he takes some pride in that.
I'm sure he does.
Because, the week he was gone that you took over, and you did a fantastic job. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't Doc.
It wasn't, was it? No. Well, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. But any rate, I can't get along without Doc and you and Tom and Miss D. The rest of them, yes, I do pick up information from them. from Loria. She has some good information now and then. But you and Doc and Tom and Misty go a little more deep, and it's easier to understand. And besides I don't have time to dance for 9 minutes before. In fact, you really do not want to see this 74-year-old man try to dance.
Yeah, well, the other three that you just mentioned, I mean, they were the ones that I was watching before I started as well. But before, when I was getting ready to do my first live and my first videos and that, it was all about Tom and Diana and Doc, and
yeah, no, it's been great. It has been truly great. Oops, push a button. I got to be on eCam to push a button. We're still live. But,
we are. Yeah.
But it's okay. It wasn't showing the time. You have to touch. You have to activate eCam itself in order to make the. I usually hide all the other stuff when I'm doing it because I don't want it to get in my way of what I'm showing or seeing. Any rate, we've been doing this for a while now, and unless anybody else wants to jump on here, I've run out of things to say.
Well, it's been lovely chatting, Michael. It's like I say, we've had these videos back and forth for such a long time, but it's great when you can actually just chat.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because it's like FaceTime on steroids.
That's it.
With your phone, and but to actually see you at the same time you're seeing me, and talk back and forth has been fine. Any rate, if no one else has any questions, I want to thank all of you for having come. It really means a lot to me. I know I've made some mistakes, but you know what? I really don't care.
Nobody else cares.
No, and because Doc taught me that. So, and you as well, Alec. So I'm going to sign off with the end screen I made with Alex's help. And there won't be any pictures up in the corner, but that's okay. There will be someday. And as soon as I rewatch that video on Alex's how to put pictures into it. So at any rate, I just got to find the right button. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Alex, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me on your stream.
Oh, my pleasure. And I'll see you tomorrow night on yours.
Will do. See you then.
All of you, Paul, Doc, Carlos, all of you, thank you so much. And for now, have a good evening and take care of yourselves, folks. And of course, the camera is in the wrong place. Good night and thank you.